Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Happy Friday!
Hey!
After like a month, the Browns are finally home again. We get a home game this Sunday.
Right.
We're going to dive into it. 90 minutes of straight talk on the Browns. We're also going to dive into last night's Thursday night game, Joe Flacco's performance.
A lot to dive in
that
there.
Will be fun. And then, Mike, at 12:30, we flip over to WKYC for
30 minutes of never before seen content.
Ever.
Can only see it on KYC
Yeah.
or KYC Plus, and it certainly will not happen beforehand on YouTube, guys.
We can't ignore G's jacket today.
His jacket is bright.
Only G Bush could pull that off. That's it.
This is shout out to, I was inspired by the Hype Williams, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. If you watch videos, you know what I'm saying, I Can't Stand the Rain, Missy Elliott, this is crazy. I got the...
Is that a real raincoat?
Man, nah, you get this wet, this will fall right apart.
Yeah.
Steve, this is melt butt.
Is it pleather? Is it plastic? Is it leather?
It's like a plastic inflatable. It ain't strong enough to put trash in.
If I spill my drink, I'm all good.
Yeah, you wouldn't notice it.
Well, nah, I got the cream joints.
Well, we don't want to get it on the pants.
But yeah, listen, this is just, you know, you can't get this off. You can't get this off. By the way, we don't see very many cream Browns hats. We don't see those.
We need that.
We need
more
that
cream in our life.
More cream.
I got 4 very quickies that will take less than a minute. First of all, you can see here the sticker that I voted today. I'm not getting political. I'm just going to say it's important for everybody, no matter who you're going to vote for, to vote. And even on off-year elections like this, there's judges, there's town council, city council, stuff like that. You can vote early. I went to the brand new Cuyahoga County election board of elections. It's beautiful. Have you been
massive.
there? It's great.
It's massive.
It's so nicely done. Good parking, easy in and out. So I just want to say that. Shout out. I got to do a shout out to Jay and Denise, 2 big fans of the show who wrote me a very nice email. Shout out to them. Shout out to my oldest friend, Andy Robbins. It is his 54th birthday today. We've known each other since we were born. We've been good friends since the 4th grade. And happy birthday to him. And finally, and most importantly, what is going on with the midges? They are attacking WKYC.
Yeah.
Have you been up on the first floor where by the
yesterday
kitchen?
I was on the 3rd floor. All the windows, which back to Lake Erie, are
It's like a horror movie.
Well, you know what it always reminds me of? I always smile when I see it. It means it's ALCS season.
That's true. Jabba Chamberlain.
You remember Jabba Chamberlain?
Yeah.
It was the invasion of the midges.
Yes.
I will say, on a positive note, although they are miserable to deal with, it means we have a very healthy lake, which is good.
That's true.
So a lot of midges means healthy lake, and we need a healthy lake.
Yeah, that's true.
You get them in at your house in River?
I do.
Yeah.
Not as bad as, like when you come into the garage here, it's nuts.
They're covered, and they're inside the building because when the door opens,
yeah,
there's that
right.
bit. One
but I do
quick
get them
question,
in River.
I'm curious, how did that intro at birth go to your oldest friend?
I was like, "Hey, what are you doing there, pal? How are you?"
Were you born at the same time? You met in the?
Nah, I'm a few months older than him, but
I have friends like that too, and there's no challenging that friendship.
Nah, nothing.
You bet
nothing
your diapers together.
Yes, that's right.
And
Absolutely.
if you're lucky, you'll go out in diapers together. Those are called diaper-to-diaper friendships.
There you go. I like that.
Very,
We've coined that new term.
I got to give one person another shout-out. It's a little follow-up to yesterday. I mentioned we got an email from Browns fan Michael, who watches us every day from Kenya.
Oh, yeah.
And we tried to figure out how does a Browns fan in Kenya come to be. Well, he sent us another follow-up email, Bull.
Yeah.
He's from the area. Him and his wife joined the Peace Corps a little after they graduated college. They've been living overseas for 16 of the last 22 years.
Good for them.
And for the past 6 years, Michael and his wife have been in Kenya working the International Livestock Research Institute, where they're helping small farmers across Africa and Asia make better living from livestock through improving how they raise and care for their livestock. He says he watches every day. It makes him feel like he's still back at home. So
I want to
Michael,
hear.
thank you very much.
He's our favorite.
What a commitment! To just do that as for your life. That's amazing.
A lot of people, will spend 2 weeks, and I look at those people and say, wow, what a commitment.
6 years.
This guy and his wife have lived it. They were so bound
Good
to
for
the
them.
cause they've made that their life, and thank God we have people
You and your
like that.
wife are the man and woman there,
That's
Mike.
it. You're the couple.
You're the couple. Yeah. Good
that
job
is
out
a
of you.
really, really cool
I knew with a
story.
name like Mike, I forgot his last name, but it was
Gerba.
Yeah,
Mike Gerba.
I was guessing he wasn't originally from Kenya with a name like that. Although you
No,
never know.
probably not. Mike
Yeah.
Gerba, we officially dubbed
You're the man.
the UCSS #1 ultimate fan of the day.
They sit
I
there
think
and
he gets
change
that title.
lives. We sit here and make fun of the Browns.
That's right.
You know, as Mike was reading that, I literally thought to myself, oh my God, could I feel any less insignificant right
About
now?
what we're doing.
Any less significant right
Yeah,
now?
yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah.
just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
We're talking about a pigskin and a bad football team.
Yeah.
That's what we've decided to do with our lives.
Before we dive into the Browns, though, guys, Sweetest Day is coming up, and Mally's has sent us another care package of some awesome treats. You guys all have something in front of you guys to put on display here. Jay, you got the pumpkin spice truffles.
I have not tried these.
G, you feel free to try one.
Yeah, I will.
G, you have the chocolate-covered grapes. I know you had one yesterday.
Yeah.
Jason, I think you have the chocolate-covered pretzels.
Wow, I've never
sitting
heard of
there in front of
chocolate-covered
you.
grapes.
Oh, you
Bull
tripping?
has
I've
the
never heard of
that. You tripping?
pumpkins.
Chocolate covered
Hey,
cherries.
God.
No.
Covered
You
strawberries.
need
Yeah,
one. I know.
Steve and Anthony have eaten most of them.
This is
already.
like a full box to
I know
take
you
home.
limit
Nope,
to
there's like
one
3
sugar
left.
a day.
That's it. Have these if you want.
You've already had your peanut
Milk
butter and
chocolate
celery for today,
caramel.
Jay.
I have. Right. I need to stand down.
Right.
But these look good.
Mally's is the best.
Let me
The best
just-
chocolate. We love that it's locally made, and they're excellent.
You know,
And some of them, I don't know how many of the Mally's, but I know at least one of them. I think the one in Lakewood has ice cream too. How many Mally's have ice cream?
There's
I don't know about
18
that.
Maui's. I'm not sure how many.
I don't know how many. I know the one. I'm pretty sure it's the one in Lakewood, if I remember
We're going
correctly.
to the gym later.
Has
We can do this.
they have like a little ice cream parlor there too? It's kind of cool.
I'm
Jay,
not going
how's
to
the
gym
pumpkin
later.
spice
No,
truffle?
We're going to do this.
It's I'm not a pumpkin guy. You know that everybody goes crazy like in
crazy.
September.
Oh
when the
my
pumpkin
God,
spice
people lose their
lattes
mind.
come back.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's nuts. But
It's good.
this is
is
absolutely
rich.
amazing.
Mally's is the best. Check them out. Mally's.com.
You eat one of those?
Yeah, guys. So if you want your own package of sweets from Mally's, right now is the perfect
Oh, wait,
time.
why
The
are we giving
holidays
these
are around
back?
the
Where
corner.
do these go when we give these back?
Give them to Aunt, and we can take them home after today's show. Jay, that box has your name written all over. You
Okay.
can bring it home
I
to
like
the
how he
wife.
said we can take them home after today's show.
Yeah, nothing says celebrating your perfect holiday with a sweet treat. And let's be real, finding that go-to gift or special indulgence for yourself can be overwhelming. Between generic options and mass-produced candy that just doesn't hit the same. It's easy to settle for less when all you want is something truly special. That's where Mally's Chocolates comes in. Our guys loved them. You'll love them, too. They've been Cleveland's favorite chocolatier since 1935, and they're celebrating 90 years of making Northeast Ohio's sweetest moments. Their selection is incredible, from those chocolate-covered pretzels to Buckeyes to Billy Bob's, Mallios, you name it. They got it, and you can shop online or have it delivered right to your door. Celebrate 90 years of Cleveland's sweetest traditions with Mally's Chocolates. Visit one of their 18 Northeast Ohio locations or shop online at Malleys.com. That's MALLEYS.com. Taste the tradition. Taste Mally's. Guys, we all saw what Joe
hype is real.
Flacco did
Yeah.
against the Pittsburgh Steelers last night. And we could discuss how he played, but I want to ask you guys this question, and the ball is yours. You can take it whichever direction you want. Seeing how Joe Flacco played against the Steelers, 3 touchdowns, 342 yards, could have been 4 touchdowns if T. Higgins didn't slide at the very end. Is that a bigger indictment on Stefanski or Andrew Berry that Joe Flacco did what he did last night?
It's one of
for
the best
Cincinnati?
questions you've ever asked in the history
Thank
of
you.
the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. It really is.
Go
Because I
ahead.
think it boils it down to X's and O's versus Jimmy's and Joe's.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay. What do you think?
And I've done a lot of homework. This is one of my favorite topics because I'm fascinated by this concept.
Let's cook.
I'm going to start with my answer, which I know is counterintuitive. You usually want to build to the answer. I'm going to start with my answer. This, more than anything I have seen, displays what we already knew. There was a serious dereliction of duty in the general manager's position with the Cleveland Browns. Andrew Berry, this falls squarely on Andrew Berry's shoulders, and here's why. If Andrew Berry is buying the groceries, it's up to Kevin Stefanski to make the meal. You're only as good as your ingredients. That's what the meal's going to taste like. If you use high-end steak, it's going to be delicious. If you use cheap skirt steak, good luck. We're using skirt steak. We found that, and we already knew this, the wide receivers with the Bengals are filet. They're high premium grade filet. Joe Flacco, I pulled his numbers for this season.
I would say ribeye, Jay. I'll take a
Ribeye?
ribeye over filet any day of the week, but okay.
I guess that's a personal preference.
That is a personal preference.
I'm not going to argue with
I'm
you.
filet guy.
I'm filet, but I'm not going to turn down a great ribeye.
G and I are
especially if it's well
fat,
cooked.
so we really can trump you on this.
Recovering fat.
Yeah,
I'm going to read these
You're
as fast
recovering
as
fat.
I
Sorry.
can. I
Yeah,
didn't get
don't.
these numbers till this morning, so I would have sent them so a graphic could be made. I'm just going to read his stat lines quickly. Cincinnati, opening game of the year. 31 of 49, 290 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks. You remember the 2 picks were kind of like us going, here you go, take it. But that's what it was. That was his best line, by the way, with the Browns. Versus Baltimore, 25 of 45, 199, a pick, a tutty. Versus Green Bay, 21 of 36, 142, no touchdowns, a pick. Versus Detroit, worst game of the year, 16 of 34, 184, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Aggregate, 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions with the offensive line and the wide receivers of the Cleveland Browns. I did something that I don't even know if I like this, guys, and you can weigh in on it. I'm trying to use AI as much as I can because I'm trying to work smarter, not harder, as I get older. I have had incredible results with it, especially upstairs in my Channel 3 role. But I used it. I asked AI, and this is an advanced paywall AI that did this. I asked them to give me the aggregate rankings of the Browns and the Bengals offensive lines. And this is what they came up with. They give, and I'm surprised by this, but I asked AI the question, I have to use the answer. They have the Browns offensive line as 24th in the NFL. I don't know, again, they give you a long, detailed printout and description as to the sources they used and why they used them. They ranked the Browns offensive line in 2025 24th, compared to the Bengals, which is 31st. Then I asked them to rank the receivers. They've got Cleveland's wide receiving group ranked 26th in the NFL. I think that's high. Now, again, I don't watch all 32 teams, but at some point in this season, I have seen all 32 teams. To me, that feels high. They have the Bengals wide receiving group ranked as 4th. I had said when Flacco got traded, I'm fascinated to see what happens because, to me, the offensive line becomes the control in the experiment. Or, excuse me, the wide receivers.
Yeah.
Because I think, for the most part, and I think everyone here would agree, both offensive lines are bad.
Jay, can I give you one stat on the offensive line?
You can,
quick?
yes.
This is not AI. This is from Ben Baldwin, who puts the composites of everything. It takes PFF, SIS, ESPN, all their into one.
Perfect.
This is just pass blocking. The Bengals are ranked 31st this year through 6 weeks before last night.
Yeah.
The Browns are 32nd. So we're talking
that's interesting to
me. So it evens out, basically.
It sort of does. I mean, Cleveland's offensive line was ranked 24th. I don't know how. Again, it's chat.
The Browns' run blocking is ranked better than their pass blocking.
Maybe, and that's maybe what they took into account. So I do like the distinction of pass blocking.
So they're
Either way,
so
they're
both
trash.
lines is trash.
They're both the worst in the league.
To give you context on that, the Broncos had the number 1 graded in the composites with the score of 98 out of 100. The Browns are a 13. The Bengals are a 14.
Oh, my God, out of 100.
Out of 100, it's a 1 through 100 score.
Oh, my God. That shows you the disparity between great and awful. It should never be, by the way, it should never be that big in any stat. The wide receivers, I don't know if you've got a comparable number. They had Cleveland again, 26th. I thought that was a bit high. They have Cincinnati at 4th. I did look at a lot of preseason rankings. A lot of preseason rankings on the wide receivers for the Bengals had them 1st or 2nd. And that's, again, a subjective. I think the in-season rankings, there's more science to it because you have 6 games of numbers to use.
It doesn't matter anyway. Whether they're 1st or 5th, they're really good.
They're really good. The Browns are really bad. So, again, the control in this experiment was the wide receivers. Now I'm going to read you the 2 line scores for Flacco with the good wide receivers and the bad offensive line. Versus Green Bay, 29 of 45, which is almost identical to the first line he had of the season. 29 of 45, 219, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He threw for 75 more yards against the Packers, and that's the beauty of this. He's played one of the teams twice.
Yeah.
He threw for 75 more yards, had 8 more completions, 2 more touchdowns, and 1 fewer interception.
And that's really
against Green Bay.
And he did almost all those numbers in the second half.
Almost everything.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen if it didn't take him a half to get jump-started, which it clearly did. Against Pittsburgh, 31 of 47, 342, 3-0. It should be 4-0. It could have been 4-0. His aggregate touchdown to interception ratio, again, it was 2 and 6 for the Browns. It is 5-0 with the Bengals. This shows me more than anything This isn't an endorsement of Kevin Stefanski's offense because I still think there are issues there. I think there are issues with Zach Taylor's offense, to be perfectly frank. It showed a little more creativity yesterday. We learned on the postgame show that naked boot with Flacco was his decision. I thought that was a Zach Taylor call.
Right.
I was giving Zach all.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, what a brilliant call. Well, that was Joe.
Yeah.
See how it works when you're allowed to do certain things?
Yeah, let him go. And he even said, and he also talked about the double bracket when they decided late in the game, and they were ready for this, and I give Zach Taylor credit for this. He said they knew that at some point in the game they were going to double bracket Higgins and Chase. And he said, I broke the huddle, I turned around, I saw the brackets, and I saw I had one deep safety, and he said he was basically salivating over this. No. And what does he do? He makes the perfect post route throw, which couldn't have been any better if he walked it down there. All of this to me adds up to this. I don't think Kevin Stefanski is the biggest problem. The biggest problem is the offensive line and the wide receivers he was given to make his meal. They are terrible. We are regurgitating on this meal week after week. And for me, and I've always been this guy, but even more so now, it is the Jimmies and the Joes. And you heard Joe talk about his wide receivers in the post-game comments. And if you weren't sure if it was the Jimmies and Joes, go back and watch it. He literally was laughing when he was asked, what's it like to throw to these guys? He said, I watched, I was talking to my dad and my brothers about the game, and we were literally laughing at some of the balls they plucked out of the air and caught. Now, he's coming off of a receiving group that was dropping balls that were hitting them in the hands. Mm-hmm. So the juxtaposition between the two is dynamic. But for me, this is bad news for Andrew Berry, guys. This is not good news for Andrew Berry. I don't see how he comes back for 2026. I don't.
G, how about you? I think you're going the opposite way.
He is.
Man, this is the easiest question you'd ever asked in your life. Let's be honest with yourself. Shout out to Deshaun Watson because I'm now questioning, was he trash?
Yes.
And that's a fair question.
I answered it for you.
That's a fair
question. I'm asking the question because Joe Flacco looked trash in this same offense.
They changed the offense for Deshaun. They gave Deshaun the offense he wanted. He was still trash.
So
that's true.
Let's get to the fact that so in that case, you had Joe Flacco once, right? Mm-hmm. They could have changed that back again when he was balling the first time, remember? So now, in 10 days, this is the problem. 10 days, this man goes out here, 10 whole days. We've been told often and early that we got to have a full training camp. We need these reps. We need this. We need another quarterback. We need receivers. We need linemen. We need everything. We need more groceries. We need more coats. We need more hats. We need everything. This man came to the Cincinnati Bengals in 10 days, threw for 342 yards against a team you looked like you were scared to play. By the way, with this offensive line, we want to talk offensive line. The Bengals offensive line is just as bad as the Cleveland Browns offensive line. However, TJ Watt nullified. Highsmith nullified. You know how? Because you know what? Maybe you got somebody that's scheming it up. All the Zach Taylor the slander and how we comparing it to, Zach Taylor is obviously a better coordinator than Kevin Stefanski.
How did he look with the different quarterback?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Jay. With that same quarterback, he understood this ain't gonna get it done. Let me get him out of here.
Well, I give him points for that.
But
he had a trash quarterback and he didn't coach him up.
We just said Flacco was trash.
So here's a question for you, G. And try to give me the most honest answer you can. I think you guys should all answer this too.
No, I'm going to go after you say this question.
All we changed was Zach Taylor. What's our record? Zach Taylor's coaching this team and not Kevin Stefanski. What's the record?
Here's the thing. We're not going to get sidetracked. We're going to get sidetracked.
I see. That's sidetracked. No, that proves my point.
No, don't. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish my point and speak and get my money off like you got your money off.
Get it off.
Okay,
now,
that's very good.
So here's how we're going to do it. The referendum is on Kevin Stefanski and what he's done. If you ask any person out there, why is Kevin Stefanski still on the staff and why is he the coach? They can't point to one thing. They can't say his offense is great. They can't say he scores points. They can't say he's developed a quarterback. They can't say he puts the people in a position to make the best plays. They can't say that the players that leave here automatically go other places that in a week do God's work. Odell Beckham Jr., same thing. Stefanski trades him, jettisons him in a week. He goes to the Rams and scores more touchdowns in 1 4-5 game period than he did in 2 years with the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield, which is well documented where Baker is throwing the ball and doing. We go and say, okay, Baker, he has some growing up to do. But this smacks you right in the face because this is 10 whole days. Not 9 months, not 2 years, 10 whole days. And not just me saying, don't pay attention to what I'm saying. Go look at Bruce Arians, who runs offense. He said, I don't know why this guy still has a job. Go look at Chase Daniel says, I looked at this offense against the Pittsburgh Steelers. What the heck are they running? You got people like Jay Burns who's breaking down film saying, well, listen, Kevin's running an offense that says this is what we do and not putting it and tailoring it to what the guys do best. If you only want to look, just go ahead and look at this. Just look right what they gave you yesterday. And the embarrassing part about it is, I think at this point, we rather have Kevin Stefanski and lose than go a different direction and be successful. We got the Bengals fans chanting at you, thank you. We done already had to deal with the Sam Weiss. You don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati, and we still getting laughed at.
They weren't thanking Stefanski, they were thanking Andrew Berry.
Same difference. And Kevin Stefanski, same difference. I don't like neither one of them. They could both get up out of here. At the end of the day, let me just tell you this. I am tired of sitting here and we got definites when it comes to players. When Odell Beckham was here, it was definite he was trash, get him out. The level of vitriol, he ain't no good. When Deshaun Watson was here, he's terrible, he's trash, he's garbage, he's crap. Even when the offense is playing terribly, we still find a way to take shots at Myles Garrett's leadership every single week. I'm going to ask y'all, at what point do you have that same level of energy for a coach not producing? I need to see the same level of writing and vitriol. We got articles about every player that ain't done nothing here. They won't say Kevin Stefanski's name strongly.
I think everybody on this panel said he should be fired.
Listen,
right?
I think he should be fired.
Jay said he won't argue.
I need the strength to be in it because at the end of the day, people will say, oh, well, this is about Shedeur Sanders. No, it ain't. I don't care nothing about that. I've been saying this about Kevin Stefanski for 3 years before Shedeur Sanders was even here. He might have been in high school when I was telling you about this. And by the way, when are we going to believe him or we're not going to believe him? Kevin Stefanski from day one has always said, we are in lockstep. We pick the players together. We have a decision. This is a collaboration. Everything's lined up. It's all analytics. So now, when he don't perform, we get to separate and take him out and say it wasn't his fault. It's time out for the excuses. All of the scapegoats are gone, Bull. It's done. Baker, Flacco, DTR, everybody, it's gone. At some point in time, you got to come to the conclusion, maybe your coach is not that good. And the proof is in his numbers, the proof is in the film work, and the proof is in his 4-20-something record. Shout out to the Bengals because it looks like you guys, and I never thought I would say it, it looks like you guys actually want to win. And that's a shame because Mike Brown and his family ain't really had that track record. But I'm stuck in Cleveland talking about domes in 2029, and this is the type of stuff that I have to watch. Go ahead, Bull.
I want to hear Jason first. Thank you, though.
Oh, go ahead.
You want me to go? Okay, so my answer is going to sound like a cop-out because I'm blaming both. 50-50.
That is the fair answer.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
They are both to blame.
Yes,
and I'm done with both of them.
Bye.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start with Andrew Berry because G obviously spent a lot of time talking with Kevin Stefanski, but I will get to him too. Clearly, the Browns' talent offense is an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke.
Inexcusable.
It's worse than I thought it was. Jerry Jeudy's been a total disaster. Zach Jackson this morning with me called him the most embarrassing player in the NFL, and I can't argue with that. You look at the Browns' three positions: quarterback, wide receiver, and offensive line. Between those three spots, you have, 17, 18 players on the roster in those three positions?
You throwing tight ends in there too? Or
No, not including, not tight ends.
Okay.
Just those three position groups. Roughly 17, 18 players.
Yeah.
Okay, that's close to 40% of your roster in those three positions. I don't know if there's a single good player in that group for next year. I'm not there. Obviously, we haven't seen Shedeur yet. We haven't seen enough Dillon Gabriel yet. But I'm not sure in those three groups there's one player I want on this roster. That's 37% of the roster.
That's a good
That's
point.
insane.
What team would poach any of those guys from us?
maybe Judy in the right spot. Certainly,
Not now.
Certainly, I'm sure there's other
Now
teams
with that
out there that
contract.
see some potential of a couple of. There's maybe 2-3 guys that you could even consider. Period. Your entire offense, you have zero. You have no offensive line for next year. None. You don't have one starter. You don't have one short thing starter at wide receiver, and you don't have one short thing starter at quarterback. You don't even know if you have a short thing backup at quarterback. Right now, you don't even know. So that's a disaster. So Andrew Berry, seeing Joe Flacco play with those. Now, the Bengals line, I think, right now, overall for the season, the lines are equal. I think the Bengals' O-line has been getting better a little as the season has gone along.
Best. Yeah, you would know best.
And the Bengals are, right now, much better at tackle than the Browns are. The Bengals have solid tackles. Solid. Not great. Solid. The Browns' tackle situation is a disaster. In the middle, the Browns, it's probably close. Maybe the Browns are a little better. But at least for that blind side block,
yeah,
the Bengals left tackle's solid NFL player. Nothing special, but he's solid. So, but still, the major difference obviously is at the wide receiver, and you've seen it with Flacco. However, the reason Stefanski doesn't get a pass in this situation is because, here's the thing, folks, if you didn't see it, the Bengals offense played its best game of the year last night. By far.
Yeah, it's not even close.
That includes the 2 games, the 1.5 games Joe Burrow played.
Yeah.
It was their best. I've seen their offense look since the end of last year, and it's not close, as you said. Not close.
Being a Bengals fan, is that
Yeah.
Zach Taylor or is that Joe Flacco? Give a percentage there, because it's both.
I'll give some credit to Zach Taylor begrudgingly.
Yeah.
Because I think the game plan was right.
Yeah.
The game plan featured a lot of getting rid of the ball quick.
No sacks,
Protect
no
the offensive
pressure,
line.
beautiful.
He got sacked twice.
He got sacked in a big spot that I thought was going to turn the game.
It could have been, yeah.
If they don't give up that 70-yard touchdown to a tight end,
Yes.
the Packers win the game. Because
the Steelers.
The Steelers.
If they had driven down,
because Aaron Rodgers is going to slow walk it. When he scored, I literally said, best thing that could have happened.
And by the way, Bull, beautiful time management at the end of the game, right? They kicked the field goal. They make sure Aaron Rodgers didn't get the ball back, didn't they?
That's true.
Well, I credit
I was nervous about that.
T. Higgins, that's
a
move of the
smart
year.
play by Higgins, but if he misses the field goal, I would have lost my mind. But
their field goal kicker's so good.
He's good, and it's a chip shot, but whatever. But the Bengals offense with Jake Browning looked like if you look at the Bengals offensive numbers before last night, they were kind of as bad as the Browns were.
And that's Zach
even
Taylor
with
calling the
having
plays.
that team, even with Jamar Chase.
Sure.
Even with T. Higgins.
What changed?
T. Higgins had done nothing.
Just,
what changed is Joe Flacco.
And that's it?
That's it. What else changed?
Coach was the same? Well, I'll ask you this question I asked him. If Zach Taylor was coaching the Browns and not Kevin Stefanski, what's the record?
I think it's probably the same.
I do too.
Honestly.
I don't think they make a difference.
But that's not a compliment to Kevin Stefanski.
I know what you're saying. Yeah. It's more of an indictment of Zach Taylor.
Yes.
I agree with that.
But you look at the rest of the Bengals, nothing else changed. What else changed? In fact, 2 of their top 3 tight ends, because they use 3 tight ends, and Fant had a nice game yesterday.
He did.
But their 2 other tight ends were hurt. They didn't even play.
I'd forgotten, too, that Joe and Fant played together in Denver.
Right, yes.
So they do have some sort of chemistry.
And obviously this has nothing to do with the offense, but Trey Hendrickson didn't play last night because he was hurt.
Fact.
So, and yet the Bengals with the same offensive line, the same running back, the same wide receivers.
And they could run the ball yesterday, magically.
Now, I asked G the question, and I think you
yeah.
have the right answer. I think you both had the right answer because I'm a fan of both of them going. At this
Yes,
point,
100%.
I've seen nothing from neither. But if I have to give you on the fireometer, 100 is must go, 0 is he has to stay. Where are you on Stefanski? Where are you on Berry?
I'm 99 on both.
Oh, you're that. I'm 100 on Berry.
Yeah.
I'm 80 on Stefanski.
Okay.
I want to see the rest of the season play out.
Oh yeah, I don't see any point of firing.
No, but all of this was predicated on what we've seen so far.
I'm going to give Kevin Stefanski, in my mind, a chance to change my mind.
He's got 11 games.
Coach your way in or out.
And in fairness, if Joe took a half to get up to speed, what does it take a rookie quarterback to get up to speed? More than a half, more than 2 games. We saw it a little bit with Jackson Dart. That 4th game, man, there was a massive light that went off. Massive light.
Right.
I'm not suggesting that's going to happen with Dillon Gabriel, but what I am here to tell you is you almost never see that light go off with a team this bad wide receivers and offensive line in 2 games. What's that number? We talked about it earlier this week. Is it 4? Is it 6? Is it 8? I don't know, but Jason, I like your answer. We have to see more.
And it needs to start this week, Jason, because the Dolphins are as terrible
But
as
this
the Browns.
much I can say. The hay is in the barn for Andrew Berry. This is the team he gave Kevin Stefanski. He can't improve what he's done in the next 11 weeks.
No,
right?
Kevin tearing it down.
But if Gabriel
keep tearing it down.
If Gabriel plays well, that reflects well on Stefanski and Berry, I think.
Well,
if Gabriel plays well.
Yeah, for sure it does. But we talked about what happens if Jackson Dart is a hit. That's a huge ding on Stefanski and Berry.
I totally agree with that.
Huge.
I believe that the decision to get rid, now we know why Mike Tomlin was so pissed that the Browns sent Flacco to Cincinnati. He knows.
That's even insult to injury.
He's beat Pittsburgh more than any other quarterback. He knows. Oh man,
right.
I got to go beat this guy now, not just in the micro on Thursday, but in the macro in the division. Pittsburgh's not a good team, guys.
Isn't it funny? And the Browns don't owe Mike Tomlin the Steelers anything, but
no.
I think it's funny that Mike Tomlin kind of knew that Flacco still had a little left in the tank.
He knew,
and the Browns maybe didn't, but I don't know. Go ahead.
I mean, there's
Jason,
so
much to unpack. Right now. Go ahead.
Well, part of the part of the Tomlin thing. I think the bigger part was he was actually sticking up for Kevin. I think it was a big part of it.
Yeah,
that's a conspiracy theory.
It's not a conspiracy.
It's real.
He's sticking up for Kevin.
Yeah, and coaches tend to do that
because Kevin stinks and he wants to keep him in there.
Maybe.
Why not? How did we come to that?
Well,
I'm confused.
Just coaching.
So the coaching fraternity.
I mean,
the brethren.
They work together in Minnesota. So
yeah,
they're closer than people think. Like they're not besties, but I think that there's more
a relationship
there than people realize. And he was sticking up for Kevin.
Yeah, I believe that too.
I don't want to get too far down that path because I don't have all of
the
information
question
yet.
at hand here,
but.
And I know you want to see more, and I do too, and that might change the way we feel.
I mean, last night,
as we sit here today on the 17th.
Last night was embarrassing for Cleveland. Like, I was sitting I saw the second half. I didn't see the first half. I saw the third and fourth quarters, and, of course, to thank you, Cleveland, afterwards. I'm like, this is a terrible look again.
I threw up when I heard that.
This is terrible.
I threw up. It makes me sick.
And I think on Friday's show, I think I said, like, Joe's going to have a game where he throws for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Now, it happened to be on national TV when it's the only game on and the entire country's watching it.
Right. Yeah.
Again, horrible timing for the Browns. But I'm not totally shocked that he had one of those.
I'm not either.
Doesn't mean he's going to play like that every week, but I'm not totally shocked that he had a game like that. And it was funny because
he likes the lights.
It's when you were talking, as you guys were sitting here talking, I actually was thinking about JB Bickerstaff and the playoff series against the Knicks when everybody was screaming JB's horrible, and I'm like, guys, he's got Isaac Okoro and Lamar.
Danny Green.
Yeah,
and Lamar Stevens.
Lamar, that was the name I was trying to think of. He's got Isaac Okoro and Lamar Stevens on the court. What do you think what do you want him to do?
Yeah.
And I'm advocating for him to play Danny Green, who's dragging one leg up and down the floor because maybe Danny can make a shot. And then JB, everyone thinks JB sucks. JB goes to Detroit. Turns out he's not a bad coach.
No.
And Kevin is still the same coach that 2 years ago, everybody think he sucked 2 years ago when Flacco threw for 2,000 yards when he had a receiver and a tight end who could catch the ball?
No.
So I'll go
he was
back.
Coach of the year.
And again, I'm not trying to defend Kevin. I've said all year long, you want to fire him, I'm not going to fight you. Like, there's enough evidence there. You want to fire him, fire him. I just think it runs so much deeper throughout this organization. Firing the head coach is putting a Band-Aid on a head.
That's not going to fix it.
It ain't going to fix anything.
No,
but you want to fire him, fire him.
But not firing him is not going to fix it either.
But here's the thing.
No, it's not. But Bull, to Jay's point, like we're rotten higher than Kevin Stefanski.
Kevin has proven if you give him talent, he can win. He's proven that. Look at 2023. He's proven it. Tell me I'm wrong.
But Jason,
there's no talent on this offense. None.
But they had more talent when they won certainly in 2020 when they got to the playoffs. Yes, they got on a run. Joe Flacco got hot. He can't live the rest of his career off a good 6-week stretch.
I totally agree.
When they went to the playoffs in 2020, there was talent on this team. Let's not make it seem they didn't have talent on this team.
You're making my point. There was talent on the team, and he won.
Okay, but since then, he hasn't won a single playoff game.
And there hasn't been any talent.
I always go back.
It's gotten worse as the years have gone by. But isn't he part of the
which is why the triumphant?
So if you want to fire him, fire him. I'm just not expecting. I don't think you're going to bring in head coach next year and win 10 games.
I don't think anybody's expecting that either.
But here's the problem I do have. If he is the wrong person for the job and this regime is the wrong regime, we are already talking about our draft class next year with 2 first-round picks.
Yep.
It is pivotal. We don't have linemen, we don't have receivers,
Yep.
and we're talking about a quarterback. So if they pick the wrong person,
I totally agree.
it sets you.
Yes.
Let me just
You're
tell, let me
right.
tell y'all.
And who here has faith they'll get the right person?
If you pick the wrong person, we talk about Deshaun Watson and Baker Mayfield. We have to learn from our mistakes. If you have a person that is incompetent at the top and he takes another highly drafted person or whoever that may be and they swing and miss, you've set yourself back 4 more years. 4 more. Just because we didn't want to pull the trigger this year.
I told you Monday, like, you're still not dug out. It's the Deshaun thing. Deshaun is bad, period. It's Deshaun. And the fact that they still, I mean, they owe him so much more money on the cap sheet.
How do you get out of that?
This will wreck the franchise.
I mean, again, the Broncos turned it around because they got something right.
If they got it
right.
If the Browns find a quarterback, it'll go a long way in solving a lot of these problems.
You're right.
Yep.
I have no faith that that's going to happen.
See, and I don't either. And I know your guys' heads are going to explode. You know where I'm going already with this. But it goes higher than these two. It does.
I'm glad, no, before you go,
Okay.
I want to, because you said Monday, like, why are you defending him? I wasn't defending Depot on Monday. You were making it sound like DePodesta is the reason the Browns are in this mess. And I was just trying to say, hey, the Browns had crappy ownership before Paul got here.
Right.
Like, they had Lombardi and Banner when Jimmy first got here. It wasn't that they got bad under when DePodesta showed up. This ownership group has never gotten it right. And that was the point.
Jay, and I agree with that. And I'm glad you made that distinction, because I'll make a distinction on top of that. When we've changed regimes under this ownership group with head coaches and general managers, it's the chief strategy officer, I think, that has the most influence with Jimmy Haslam. That's my personal opinion from little things I've heard from around the league, from people that know the league and covered it for a very long time. I've been told that Jimmy's ear belongs to Paul. Would you refute that? Is it Andrew's voice that's the loudest?
I've never been able to untangle
I know,
all
and
of
that's
this
a big part of the problem.
Because, like, you could say he listens to Paul, but does he? Because he hired Dorsey, who's a completely non-analytics guy, who's kicking analytics guys out
but
of
who won that power struggle? Not Dorsey.
Well, because Dorsey picked the wrong coach. But I'm just saying, up until this regime, none of their pieces fit together. None of them. They would have a head coach who was analytics and then front office who wasn't, or vice, whatever.
Yeah.
They never had everybody in agreement.
And now we're on the same page, but Bull makes this point all the time. You can all be on the same page, and you can all be on the wrong page.
Sure.
And that's what I think. That's where I think we are. I think that we do have a lockstep regime right now. But the problem is they're all marching off the same cliff. I want a regime that sees everything the same way, but sees it the way the Rams or the Niners
That's
see
too
it.
much groupthink.
That's the problem that I have when we say, I'm okay as long as the Browns feel that they are doing the right thing.
No, don't ever say that.
I'm like, I don't care what they think. I'm looking at the results. The results is saying you don't know what you're doing. The results in this quarterback thing, listen, these guys, I've been through 1-31. The way they've handled this quarterback situation from day one, starting back at the draft, is the most ridiculous. You're better off putting these draft cats on autopilot. You might as well let the computer select them, because they would have done a better job of this.
Yeah.
You talked about the quarterback competition. Turned out to not be true. You wasted reps on Pickett. Then you have Flacco. Now you're going to Dillon Gabriel. Then you trade Joe Flacco in the middle of the week. He comes out in 10 days for a division rival, throws for 400 yards, and no practice, no nothing. And you got guys like Grant Delpit sitting around saying, that's another thing we're missing.
Yeah, that.
It was another, because the people in that locker room, Bull, are telling you think they ain't watching the Bengals over there?
Delpit bite. Did you guys discuss that yesterday?
No,
it
I
happened
think it
after,
happened.
but we're going to play it in the TV show
Oh,
when
good.
we talk about
Good.
could the whole thing crumble.
Yeah,
if things
because,
don't
gee,
go
that's
right.
a point we haven't hit on, and you're absolutely
He
right.
said, I don't even
That's a
remember
crack.
what it feels like
It
to
goes
win.
back to the process with the 76ers I brought up on Wednesday.
100%. You're teaching the young kids to one thing: how to lose.
You know, we do a debate show. We do a opinion show. We have to. It's real. If you think about it rationally, deciding if Kevin Stefanski as a head coach is a 10 or a 1 or wherever in between is an impossible task. there's nothing really to give you a definitive answer on where he is, right?
Right.
I've said many times that I think most coaches are in the middle. I think Stefanski's one of those coaches. I think most of the coaches in the league are in the middle, and depending on their talent or depending on whatever, they go up and down, right? So
where they make a difference is at the very top.
Yes, and I don't think Kevin Stefanski's one of those guys. I don't.
No.
For the record, I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't think he's one of the I think there's 3 or 4 buffoons every year who have no business coaching.
Yeah.
I think there's 3, 4, 5 really good coaches, and everybody else is dependent on other things. But here's why, and I think Stefanski overall early in his tenure did a solid job for the Browns, did a pretty good job. I think what's happened now is they've lost so much. There's been if nothing else, the organization is accepted losing. Even if the players haven't, the organization has.
Yeah.
And that is rubbed off on the team, and I just don't think at this point Kevin Stefanski can be the guy to turn it around.
I agree with you.
I just think he can't,
and
I think they need a coach. A different coach. They need a different voice.
I agree
now.
with that. I think more than anything, they need different players. Let me wrap up this point with this question, because we had this debate many times over my years at ESPN, and I always used to try to bookend it with this question. In general, in the history of your sports fandom, how many teams can you name won championships with a lack of talent but a great head coach?
I mean, Greg Popovich said all the time, I've never seen a jockey carry a horse over the finish line.
That's 100% true.
What's funny about this is when the players play well, and I've done this too. When I was covering the Cavs and LeBron played well, the players get the credit.
Yeah.
When they don't play well, the coach takes the blame.
Always.
It's just the way that it's always.
It's human nature.
But you can see a coach.
Why? Because it's easier to change one coach than it is 53 players.
But a coach can make a bad team serviceable, a serviceable team pretty good,
and
a pretty good team good.
That's why I agree with you, Bull. I think they make differences in AFC and NFC championship games, in Super Bowls.
The reason I have defended Kevin all of these years, and I've said this before, he's really good at managing the nonsense and the obstacles that come with being the head coach of the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
He's done it better than a lot of the guys that came before him. Especially, he thrived in COVID because there was nobody else to distract him. And it may have reached the point where the snow is just too high and his shovel isn't big enough, and it's even.
It's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Because he has proven, excuse me, when he has talent, he can win.
Yeah.
It's not his fault Jerry Jeudy's dropping the ball. That's not Kevin's fault. I gave you all the numbers. I got one more. I gave you all the numbers on Monday about how bad these receivers are. Jay, I'm with you in terms of the indictment on the receivers. I asked my data guy, I'm like, okay, so I assume the Bengals are near the top then in separation and speed. He actually said, no, they're at the bottom with the Browns. Here's the difference. I just had it and I lost it. Here,
catching the football.
Cincinnati receivers have caught 37% of tight window throws, 11th in the NFL. The Browns have caught less than 10% of tight window throws.
Oh, my God.
2 of 21.
That's dead last, right?
Dead last. Raiders are the only other receiver group under 20%. The Raiders are at 19%. The Browns are at 10%. So, a lot of data.
Jay, that's a fascinating number, though.
That's the thing. He doesn't need to be open. He'll catch it. Just throw it to him. Just
throw it.
He threw it to him 16 times.
The Browns don't have a player like that,
The Browns don't have.
obviously.
So, to recap.
Most teams don't have a player like that.
The Browns receivers are among the slowest in the league, the worst at creating separation. They've dropped 17, the league high 17 passes, and they're last in tight window catches. So they aren't creating separation, and they aren't catching contested balls. So again, I ask,
what are you supposed to do?
offense is going to work?
I will always say this, and we have the nickname of the captain of Project Stockpile. McNuggets, you can attest to this. Since I've known you as a human being, the first thing I've always said is, I need 3 receivers. I don't care if we drafted one. I don't care if you drafted. I need multiple, 2, 3 of them. I've always said this.
Yeah.
So my energy level today is just the simple fact that I'm sitting here being like, guys, people have been saying this for years, and they've neglected it for years, and now the chickens have come home to roost.
Yeah, you're right, and we've all said that. We said the receivers are woeful and not up to par, but again, to our original question today, is the lack of talent at wide receiver Kevin Stefanski's fault or Andrew Berry's fault? Andrew buys the groceries.
Hey, listen.
It's on him.
They keep trying to tell me they got a united front. I got to believe you.
I think Kevin Stefanski is part of the blame for that. In terms of specifically, on that one specific thing, yes, I'm going to blame Andrew Berry more than Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, that's his job.
But in the end, all this argument about who's to blame more, I think there's plenty of blame to go around.
All of them.
And it's fair to say that the talent's not good enough, the coaching's not good enough.
Both.
And even though I agree with Jason that they're unlikely to find the next great coach.
Very unlikely.
Very unlikely. And they'll probably, if they're lucky, just get another mid-tier coach and hope the talent's better and they hope for that. But yeah, this team's not, unless they somehow get a great quarterback, they're not going to win a lot of games next year, no matter who the coach is. However, if they did have a Mike Tomlin or Andy Reid or something like that, they wouldn't be quite as bad. I believe.
They would coach them
They
up.
wouldn't be a playoff
They're trying to rent
two
Tomlin
every
out of
year.
Pittsburgh. They're trying to fire
stupid.
Tomlin.
But
That's
yeah,
stupid.
exactly. We'll take them. That doesn't get us to where we want to go.
No, that's
ultimately, and you said this. We all agree with this. Okay, we've got the wrong people. I think we all agree on that. But the biggest problem is, do we trust the ringleader of this circus to suddenly hire the people that will be the right people? No. But this is my last point on this topic. The one person who I can point to who is Kevin's boss and Andrew's boss, because he decides the strategy of this entire franchise, is Paul DePodesta.
Right, but we all agree he should be fired too.
So what I'm saying is, you can fire Stefanski and Berry all you want. If Podesta picks the replacements, good luck with that.
Right, but fire them all, fine.
Get them all out.
But I don't trust Jimmy to get it right.
I don't
I think
either.
if Jimmy gets it right, we just got lucky. We got lucky.
Or he finally gets, and he won't because ego is too big. Look at Jerry Jones. Or he finally realizes, oh my God, I just watched on national television one of our rivals chant, "Thank you, Cleveland." If that isn't a punch to the ego, then there isn't one. He had to watch that garbage on national television. We are a joke. We have been a joke throughout his ownership. The only thing we can hope for is that he or D, and I think D could have more influence here because sometimes women can be more level-headed on the ego issues than men. Maybe
most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
So maybe it will be the woman in his life that looks at Jimmy and says, Jimmy, I know you mean well. I know you want to win. I don't question that, by the way. Jimmy does want to win, and he does mean well. He doesn't have the means to carry it out as the point person. Maybe D is the one that actually tells him, honey, you're not good at this. And my name is also attached to your name, and it's embarrassing for me to see my rival on national television do a "Thank you, Cleveland" chant. Has it ever gotten any worse?
No.
So maybe she can say, Jimmy, you've got 4 months. Do an all-out search. Canvass the NFL universe. Find whomever you need to find. And then give him the keys and write the checks.
That's the only way it's
That's our only way out of this, because he's not selling the team.
No.
All right, guys, we have a record number of viewers on a Friday. We've most ever had on a Friday,
you,
so
viewers.
appreciate
Appreciate
everyone
you.
for tuning in. We're going to dive a little into Dillon
That was a
Gabriel
great
as he gets
conversation.
ready for his third start after a quick word from some of our sponsors. Today's show is brought to you by BetterHelp. October 10th was World Mental Health Day, and this year we're saying thank you, therapists. Life can be tough on and off the field, and behind millions of mental health journeys are therapists who showed up, listened, and helped people take a step forward. BetterHelp is a shining spotlight on those connections while also making it simple for you to find support whenever you need. This Mental Health World Day, join us in celebrating the therapists who've helped millions take a step forward. If you're ready to start your own journey, BetterHelp can help you find the right therapist. UCSS listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/LockedOn. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOn. Today's episode is also brought to us by Prize Picks. Every day we make decisions, but on Prize Picks, being right can actually get you paid. Don't miss the excitement of this football season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Playing Prize Picks is easy, simple. You just pick more or less on player projections, and if you get it right, you can win some cash. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use promo code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's right. Use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after your first $5. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, guys, we're going to do a little something different to get Dillon Gabriel ideas out here before his third start. I came up with 4 different numbers. These are legitimate facts and stats from his first 2 starts. I'm going to present these to you, and you tell me if these are concerns moving forward or just weird coincidences after 2 games, all right?
Got it.
The first one, the question I'm asking is, can Dillon Gabriel throw the ball to the right side of the field? If you guys look at the numbers through 2 games, you can see when he throws outside the numbers to the left, he's 15 of 22 for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns this season. Between the numbers, where the majority of his work comes from, 31 of 46, 288 yards and a touchdown. In 2 games, he's only attempted 12 passes outside the numbers to the right, completing less than 50% of his passes to the outside right for just 38 yards and no touchdowns. G, I'll start with you on this one. Is this just a coincidence after 2 games, or is this something we need to be concerned about in Dillon Gabriel's game moving forward?
I think it's a slight concern based on the fact that he is a left-hand quarterback, and left-handed quarterbacks tend to have a very small sample size. So when you're a play caller, it's going to be different because essentially everything is flipped. Like in terms of like how people design it and block it up, it shouldn't be that big of a problem, but it does take some time and recognition to start playing with a left-handed quarterback. Most people don't. I mean, you could be a coordinator your whole life and never have a left-handed quarterback, right? It's a little bit strange.
They are rare.
It's very rare. I think only like 12% of the population is left-handed.
Might be smaller.
One of them.
Yeah, one of them right there.
9%, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think it is.
that's
Single
small.
digits.
My wife's left-handed too.
That's
Me
crazy.
and Director
out.
Steve, all lefties.
That's
And
wild.
all of you have never played NFL quarterback.
Me, Mike, and who?
It's a trend.
And Director Steve.
I think look. You know the analytics departments at these other places. It's a very small sample size of 2 games, but there are analytics departments that are just waiting for a sample size more of like 2 to 3 games. Give me 3 more. Give me about 4 games, and I'll tell you if that's a real thing or not.
Here's what I need before I answer that question. I need to look at the right-handed quarterbacks throwing to the left side of the field.
Right.
If you give me a quarterback, I could look up their numbers for you right
It's
now.
all different.
Yeah, sure it is.
Baker was very comfortable rolling left.
And that's the key. And I know they've already tried rolling him to his right and throwing that way because you don't want to block off a third of the
I mean,
field.
I would look at Dillon's college numbers before
Yeah,
you look
yeah,
at
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
I
too
would too
small.
because you're going to have a bigger sample size.
To me,
but
it's too small a sample size.
I'm
to
just
read
guessing
anything.
here. I'm just
Yeah.
guessing based on the way football is played. Yes, there are right-handed quarterbacks that have a lot of success throwing to the left side of the field. But I wonder if it's the same if you flip it. Like, do their numbers go down precipitously? I would think that they do.
Give me a number, or give me a quarterback, and I'll get you his numbers right now.
Pick anybody. I don't care. Pick Aaron Rodgers.
I got Kyler Murray up.
And Aaron Rodgers is known for throwing across his body. He does it a lot.
Give me one.
Kyler Murray's a good one.
Kyler Murray is a good one.
I got
'Cause
Kyler
he's
Murray
shorter.
right in front. I got Kyler Murray
Yeah.
right in front of me.
All right, go. Yeah.
Baker Mayfield.
To the
Baker
left. We'll have to do some mental addition real quick.
Okay.
This season, to the left.
Yeah.
Murray 2 for 4 deep left, 3 for 12 intermediate left, 13 for 16 10 yards 0 to 10, and then 6 of 6.
Well, you
behind
didn't
the line of
break them
scrimmage
up
left.
for him.
24. That's 24 for 36.
Yeah,
That's
give us the
67%.
aggregate. The aggregate.
Well, I'm trying to do mental math while talking to you
24
guys
for
while-
36. I
Okay.
just gave it to you, Mike.
24
Okay.
for 36.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, by the way, is
that's good.
67%.
Yeah.
To the right, 2 for 8,
Down.
3 for 5, 10 for 13, and then 8 of 8.
8 of 8?
That's like
23
screen passes.
Okay,
34.
the short
23 for 34.
That's good, though. That's really good. It's almost the exact same percentage.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not sub.
No, it's actually just about the same.
I just think,
actually
Mike,
just
it's
about the
too
same.
small a sample size to know anything yet.
Agreed.
I mean,
I'm with Bull.
it's 12
It's
passes.
yeah, yeah.
That's why I'm
mean-
asking if it's a coincidence or if
Yeah,
it's
the
something
other
we should be
thing, too,
concerned
is
about. That's the whole point of this.
obviously
Bill.
you're going to play to a quarterback's strength. You're just
Right.
going to. Baker could throw to the opposite side for him because he threw well while running that way, which is very rare.
Here's the weirdest thing about all of this is one of the reasons why I thought they were moving to Gabriel was to be able to move the pocket and go
Yeah.
with more boots
And
and
they haven't
rollouts,
done that.
and they really haven't.
Guys, here's
That's
the
on
thing.
Kevin, too, I
Here's the
think.
thing about being a
And it
lefty.
might be the tackles are so bad you're going to run into a sack. And they
Here's the thing about being a lefty, and I'm sure this is the same in football, like everywhere else, and Mike and Anthony can attest to this too. When you're a lefty, you have to adjust in many ways in life to a right-handed world. The world is meant for right-handers.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Everything is designed. A desk at school, like everything is designed the way you write.
Yeah.
You know, everything's designed for right-handers, and I would assume, just like in any other aspect of life, that left-handed quarterbacks, because they're very rare, have to adjust and because there's got to be little things, and G, you would know better than anybody else here. There's got to be little tiny things that I'm not even thinking of when it comes to quarterbacking, that the players are going to be used to doing it with a right-handed quarterback, and it's hard to make everybody else adjust. So the lefty's got to adjust to the other players.
The spin. So I'll give you. You guys are baseball guys, right? They've done statistics on righty-lefty all the time.
Yeah.
And why it is that left-handers can't really hit left-handers better than they can hit right-handers, right? If in baseball, where you talk about a throwing sport and pitching is the most important thing, it does play a certain standard. It plays a role.
Lefty batters versus lefty pitchers is much more of a thing than righty batters versus righties.
100%.
So
I never had a problem hitting righties.
So when
I like it.
when somebody
I know a lot of lefties that just do not want to face lefties.
So if you're a receiver, and chances are, like we said, you could play with your whole life and never play with a left-handed quarterback.
Yeah.
The ball does come out different. It spins different. It tails different.
I'll give you a stat that, to me, when I heard this 10 years ago, I remember we discussed it during one of the Super Bowls, and I literally thought to myself, God, that's enough proof to never, ever draft a left-handed quarterback. Only one has ever won a Super Bowl. Steve Young, that's it.
Boomer got to one.
Yeah. Tua, I think, the meter on Tua is all over the place.
There just haven't been many good
there haven't. Now, to your point, if 9% of the population is left-handed, and you were to take, say, 10% of the Super Bowls played, you would expect that 6 Super Bowls would have been won by left-handed quarterbacks.
Right.
Or there would be 6 different quarterbacks to win Super Bowls. It is a right-handed world.
It is.
And receivers grow up catching footballs from who? Right-handed quarterbacks.
Yeah.
They play in high school with what? Right-handed quarterbacks. College, right-handed quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Pros, right-handed quarterbacks. Now, you flip it and put a mirror in front of the game. And only one of them has done it.
Not to give a pass to the Browns wide receivers because they stink.
Yeah, don't know. Yeah.
But a small percentage of the drops, I think, probably are a factor. The left-handed.
Real quick,
I know
they were dropping when Flacco was the
but it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse.
I have the numbers. That was one of the 4 of the things I wanted to bring up. So I'll just present you the numbers.
And again, I'm saying a small percentage of why it's been so bad.
It's a factor.
And once again, I'm presenting you guys just ideas that have been popped up about Gabriel. We're trying to figure out real or not. But
by the way, real quick, Mike, last thing, because G brought up baseball. There's definitely more than 9% pitchers are left-handed.
Well, why?
Yeah.
There's more of an inherent advantage.
So you find
left-handed pitchers.
So you find
you go out and get them.
That's right. Go ahead, Mike.
So to the drop passes, one of the things people have asked is the lefty spin causing those drop passes? These are just some of the numbers through 2 games. You guys tell me if you're buying it or if it's just a weird coincidence. But he said 89 pass attempts on the season, 6 drop passes. 10.5% of his on-target passes have been dropped. That's the second highest on-target drop percentage in the NFL for any quarterback with 50 attempts this year.
What was Flacco's?
I can pull it up if you give me 1 sec.
So it has
with
gotten
the same
worse
receivers.
with Gabriel.
I'd like to see. That's a great question because now you've got to control.
Right.
What was Flacco's with the same receivers?
Yes.
And I agree with you, Bull. Just anecdotally, there are more drops the last 2 weeks than there
maybe
were
I'll
the first
give you
4.
one drop off this because of being, but for the most part.
Let me make it very clear.
Yeah.
Mostly about the receiver stick.
Yes.
But a little bit is probably made it worse.
Flacco's drop rate in Cleveland was 6.8.
Okay, so that's...
Which is probably pretty bad, too.
Yeah,
that is bad.
It's still terrible.
So we went from bad to absolutely unacceptable worst.
Yeah.
And
now, again, I'm not making that as an excuse in any way for those receivers.
You can set up a jugs machine to put the lefty spin on the ball. Yeah. I would think that the wide receiver coach has been doing that since camp. So these guys most of them probably never caught balls from left-handed.
Wait, I got to correct that stat. I lied. I was looking at the full season. His drop rate in Cleveland was 10.6 on target drop.
Whoa!
So went down 4% in 2 games?
With the Bengals, yes.
Oh, my God.
That was my bad. I did
so,
the
the receivers can be just as bad with lefty and righty.
We're talking about teeny tiny samples here.
It's too small to even really discuss.
So that's why
it's like talking about a hitter's batting average when he's 1 for 3.
But that's why it's a 4%.
That's not fair.
That's why it's a 4% drop on 2 games. But more importantly,
no, but it's not a 4%
it doesn't change.
drop.
My theory about it being a little bit on the lefty.
Flacco's drop rate in Cleveland was 10.6%.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
But it went down when he went to Cincinnati.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, but for that,
my theory that the drops got worse without him is not true.
Yeah. And again, It's like talking about a batting average for a guy that's played 4 games.
Right.
Just the Brown. No, we have plenty
the
of
Browns
we have
suck.
plenty of data that the Browns receivers are awful. Awful.
We don't even need to do it, really. I mean, you just watch with your eyes. You don't even need a stat in the world. Just watch with your eyes.
According to AI, a left-handed quarterback spins the ball counterclockwise, while a quarterback spins it clockwise.
That's
this affects how the ball travels through the air and how it interacts with the receiver's hands, and they have a different release angle.
Oh, now that's interesting. I wouldn't think there would be a different release angle.
A left-handed quarterback typically releases the ball from a different angle than a right-handed quarterback.
Wow.
This can influence the trajectory,
I didn't know
arc
that.
on the throw, which may affect how receivers adjust to catch the ball.
I wonder what explains that.
Yeah, I mean, lefties throw differently.
I know they do, but you know, if you're playing catch in baseball with a lefty, the hard-throwing lefties all have natural tails.
And
righties do not.
It
And
just
that would
looks
be angle.
like
That would be arm angle.
And by the way, when you play, it looks like the ball is gonna hit you. Like every left hand pitcher, if you're standing in the batter block and they throwing hard, it's like you can't dig in. Like it's like you feel like this.
You know what I give you for evidence of that? When Randy Johnson faced John Kruk in the Major League All-Star game. It's
the
funny.
greatest moments.
If you haven't seen it, Google it. It's hilarious. First of all, you're talking about a guy 6'10", which did you see when he threw out the first pitch at the Mariners home game for Game 3?
I did not see it, no.
Oh, my God.
Is he a mess?
I mean, it's really hard for me to see people that were the dominant of their sport age because it's a reminder of our own
Sandberg
mortality.
dying for me was...
That's another one. Yeah, because he's a young man. But watching Randy throw, he threw out the first pitch.
Yeah.
It was probably 40 miles an hour, and he grabbed his arm.
Really?
And I was just like, oh, my
Well,
God.
Ichiro could
This is a
still
guy that
throw hard.
obliterated a bird.
And he's not out of the game that long, Randy Johnson.
No, some guys can still throw hard at 60. But it reminded me of that. But that evidence, when you watch that at bat, when John Kruk, he threw over and behind his head.
Yeah.
And Kruk, and I asked Kruk about this when I worked with him at ESPN, and he said it's the most number one question he's been asked in his life.
Yeah, sure.
About that pitch. And he laughs about it. And he said, just imagine someone standing in front of you 60 feet away with a high-powered rifle, and they're gonna you can't see it. You don't know where it's
crazy.
coming. You're just ducking, hoping that you duck into the right spot.
All right, next one. G, I'll start with you on this one. Gabriel has not had a turnover in 2 games. One of our fence riders yesterday was, will he play 3 consecutive, but is he actually careful with the football? He has no turnovers on the stat sheet. However, in just 2 games, he has 5 turnover-worthy plays as graded out by PFF. That's a 4.8 turnover-worthy play percentage. Out of all quarterbacks this year with 50 attempts, which is anyone who's played more than 2 games, that is the 6th highest turnover-worthy percentage rate of any quarterback. So is it safe because he has no turnovers, or is it safe because defenders haven't picked him off?
Yeah, we talked about trajectory and spin. I think the receivers have trouble, DBs have trouble catching the football. Like, there are some that hit DBs right in the face. Like, I just think they're like, like the ball, like, jumped up on him, and it's like, oh, dog, I should have picked that off. Yeah. There's a couple of times where he visibly can't see, like, if there's a defender there, and he kind of threw the ball. There was a couple times in the flats he threw a ball, and I just don't think he completely saw the defender sitting there.
I think he's trying to be careful, and yet he's thrown 5 turnover-worthy throws, which is bad. He's a rookie. He's got a bad roster. Like, he doesn't have much of a chance of success. Yeah, Neither will Shedeur Sanders. But I'm not going to say, like, the 0 turnovers are meaningless to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't highlight that as a good thing.
Yes, it's meaningless. I would, if we're going to answer coincidence or concern, I'm actually going to say coincidence, because 5 turnover-worthy plays, probably 4 of them came last week. When again,
I think maybe all 5 came last week.
Yeah, and again, under no circumstance is it ideal to start a rookie 3rd-round quarterback on the road in Pittsburgh. Like, you knew it was going to be, had a high percentage of being a disaster, and it kind of was. So that shouldn't be much of a surprise. When we did the fence rider answers, I didn't look at the forecast. I do think he's going to turn it over. Because he's just been too rich. But that doesn't mean he's going to be turnover prone, just because I think he's going to turn it over Sunday, particularly with the weather. But I also put they were going to get to 20 points. I didn't know it was going to be a monsoon. No chance.
Unless they just run the ball from start to finish.
Unless there's a lot of fumbles and short field.
Miami's defense is bad.
I said they were going to score 20 points, mostly on the back of Judkins.
That's exactly what I did, too.
It's going to be a lot of runs. If you get a fumble, recover it in the red zone. Maybe you can punch it in and run it.
Here's what I'm going to say, too. I want to put this out here. I haven't, even me, we all know, there's a lot of people that would like to see Shedeur Sanders, right? But I'm not even sitting here being like, oh, this is all Dillon Gabriel. Like this, like we said, this is not. He's a rookie, right? He don't have a line. He don't have. I don't think the plays are that great, and they don't have receivers. So for me,
he's going to be without Njoku probably this weekend.
So I got to keep it. So if I want the same leash for Shedeur Sanders to make an evaluation, I got to have the same leash for Dillon Gabriel and give him a runway to prove and show.
The reality is neither one of these guys has very little chance of success with this offense.
I would agree.
It is
very few.
Very little.
Joe Flacco didn't, and Flacco went to Cincinnati.
A first-round pick would struggle with
even
this
a Jaden Daniels,
a third and a fifth have very little
even
chance.
Jaden Daniels, Drake May, C.J. Stroud, who have had great success early, they'd be better than this, but they would struggle.
I mean, Joe Flacco, who we thought was dead and gone, he's Lazarus. The good Lord woke Joe up. I almost started selling Kool-Aid Mafia T-shirts again. I said, look at this, boy. The good Lord woke Joe up and threw it for 342. That's how nasty the offense is, Jay. Yeah. This is crazy.
But it's pitiful.
I don't know about you guys, but I, unfairly again, I'll admit, I look all these questions from Mike, good questions, but I'm looking through them all with the lens of I don't think this guy's ever going to be their starting quarterback.
I am too.
Anyway.
Yeah, I am too.
I think we all agree on that.
I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me that much.
All of these guys, both of these guys, both Dillon and Shedeur, were supposed to be long-term projects. Now, how you do that with two young quarterbacks, I don't know.
Why you do that with two young quarterbacks?
Because you can use the Washington example of RG3 and Kirk Cousins, but one was what was
first round pick, second pick overall.
That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, by the way, they played a boatload of picks to get him too.
Yeah. And so you had a clear starter, franchise guy, and it just happened to be that they fell into the other guy when he had a ton of injuries. When you're talking about a third rounder and a fifth rounder, both of these guys, realistically, are developmental guys who should sit their entire first year.
Well, when you're taking
but
in
that's
the
not the
third
position
round,
they're in.
Well, how many teams have ever done that? How many teams that don't have a clear starter have ever drafted multiple quarterbacks third round or later? I mean, it can't be that often.
I don't know if we talked about it. I don't think it's ever happened.
I don't know if it's ever happened.
Maybe not.
Mike, this is a tough ask and it's unfair, but you come up with things all the time that I don't think you can get. Is it possible to display what Joe Flacco's throw chart looked like yesterday?
It'll take me like 2 minutes, but yeah, let me give you the last one while you guys
I'm just curious to see how it compared to his throw chart when he was here.
I'll get the
He's
chart.
throwing a lot of passes more than 10 yards. Definitely.
That's why I want to see
this is the last one about Gabriel. One of the questions is, can he throw the ball deep? Can he push the ball downfield? Through 2 starts, he has a 6.4 average depth of target. At a 39 qualified quarterbacks, that is the 36th shortest. And on passes of 10-plus air yards this year, he is just 7 of 25. Once again, small sample size, but is it something you should be concerned about?
That's a concern of mine.
And I'll get you the Flacco stuff.
That's a concern of mine for sure.
When I was watching, we was doing film breakdown, and with Tyvis, we was looking at offensive plays, and I will give Kevin Stefanski some credit with this. Look at me, just being nice. There are some throws where there's some availability downfield. I just think either they've coached Dillon to a point to make sure that he does not, if it is the first read ain't there, check it down, or which more alarming is if that is in his nature, because I feel like once you're a quarterback. And the thing about Deshaun Watson, like you said, when people, and why I don't give too much pushback on this is Deshaun Watson had enough cachet to say, if I see something, I'm throwing it.
Oh, for sure.
But it became second nature as if that was what he was doing. When you start checking it down and that's your first thought process, I start to think like, you can't win with that.
The checkdowns with Deshaun didn't really start until after he hurt his shoulder.
Yeah, like that's another big part of it.
I don't think he could throw it after that. Like I think he's done because I think his shoulder's shot.
And to your point, remember when he was throwing the ball in the first game, a couple of games when his shoulder, and we were like, this dude's throwing the ball out of bounds. Yep. I mean, it was 10, 15 yards out of bounds. Yep. And I'm like, I can't even argue with that, man. Like, these ain't even in player field. So I think, I hope it is not with Dillon Gabriel is just, okay, let me just check it out. But there are some throws, if he throws with anticipation, they might be there.
Honestly, I don't think he sees them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to keep going back to the height thing. But again, when you're not moving the pocket, when he's standing back there in the pocket, I don't know that he can see some of these
tough.
guys.
I mean, at that height, it's very, very difficult.
No, I'm not.
He was like,
I know
nah.
where you're going.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
you don't,
no.
because I was going to say something, but I'm
Oh,
not.
okay. I thought you were going to say Baker's just as small.
No, but Dillon is small, but he's not. I think we make too much of it sometimes. And
Yeah,
I know. I just said I don't think you can see, but when you're standing in the pocket and your linemen are as big as they are, I do think there are points
Right.
on the field that he struggles to see.
It's not an everything. It's not an every down.
But
thing.
overall, I do think we make too much of the height because I have seen other quarterbacks standing next to him who are basically his size.
Yeah.
I got the chart if you want to see it, Jay. This is
Yeah, I'd like to see
Flacco's-
it, just out
Flacco's
of
pass chart
curiosity.
last
I'm
night.
curious about what it looks like.
Steve, take it full so it's just easier to see for them. It's a lot of intermediate. Only one pass completed above 20 air yards. That's the
That
deep
was
one to
the
the middle.
deep route on the post.
Yeah,
tight
that's the
end.
one on the post. Correct.
Yeah.
He had one.
I thought
2,
there
3,
was
4,
another
5.
deep one to Chase that he had
was
early in the
19
game
yards.
to the right. Okay, 19.
19.
Yeah.
So he had 6 completions between 10 and 20 yards. So 6 in the intermediate range, 1 in the 20
Yeah, there were
plus.
still a lot of short passes. But the
That's the
Bengals
game.
have receivers that will, especially Chase, that will take a short pass and get good
You know
yardage.
what's funny to me? I still I don't know that I wouldn't call Jalen Ramsey one of the best corner guys,
Chase
cover
just
guys
killed
anymore.
him.
But you know, if you ask around the league, like a lot of guys say, yeah, his better days are behind him, but he's still a very, very good cover corner.
I thought he was having a good year this
They
year.
were just running simple outs.
Yeah.
At the end of the first half,
Yeah.
and it was hilarious to watch. I think Jalen
Yeah.
was so worried about him running a sluggo that he was giving him that. But to the Bengals' credit, they took what they were giving them and they did 3 of those, and then they're in field goal range.
Go ahead.
I didn't see a ton of the game. I told
Yeah.
you I missed it, but from what I saw, I was shocked how much the Steelers were playing man coverage.
That was
I
really
was
dope.
too. I think they played it most of the game.
Anytime there was it was just one guy on Chase. He threw it to him every time.
I mean, that's just
there's
that's common sense.
Denzel Ward's the only corner in the entire league I've seen do well against Chase.
I mean, that's
in
not
that situation. He's the only player.
That's not coaching. That's not nothing.
Yeah.
That is, if he's not the best receiver in the league, he's top 2 or 3. Take the ball and throw it
But
to him.
what's interesting is when they went to the bracket coverage of their top 2 guys,
they went to Yoshi.
Joe was salivating over it, and he hit the deep ball over the middle.
As a person, Bull, who said to all coaches, just spam them. It warms my heart to see that somebody was like, "Oh, we're better than you here. We're gonna wear you out."
Yeah, what did Chase get? 23
I'm gonna
targets?
throw it to
23
him
targets.
every time.
Well, and why wouldn't
Every
you?
time.
Why wouldn't you?
Spam.
It's exactly why.
What did he finish with? 18 catches?
16.
Oh, 16.
What a shame.
By the way,
16.
if I'm Jalen Ramsey, let me talk to Jalen Ramsey. Hey, Jalen, I think you might want to retire after last night.
That's crazy.
I mean, Jamar Chase
Pension?
made you his you-know-what. I mean, you had no business on that field. And how about him whining after getting called for a pass interference when he's grabbing Chase the entire time down the
Clearly
field?
pass interference.
I don't understand why you would leave man coverage.
That's crazy.
I mean,
I don't either, because Mike Tomlin usually is smarter than that. In the post-game show, they commented on it. You know, they literally said,
Yeah.
wow, the Steelers stuck to their guns on man. They came out and they just decided that our guys are better than your guys, and they're not.
It was so disrespectful. It felt like he bought another grown man jeans for Christmas. That's
it was
nasty.
Is that off limits?
Bro, what if
you
I
can't do that.
I came to you and be like, "Hey Jay, I got these pair of pants for you, my dog."
Yeah, I'd be concerned.
Nah, fam.
Yeah, I've never in my life
Don't
thought about that.
Don't
but
you
that would-
ever buy me nothing that go in my lower body? You don't shop for me below the
underwear,
waist. No,
socks.
no
I
socks.
respect that, G.
You know what I'm saying? Don't.
Dustin bought me a pair of sneakers.
That's cool.
That's
not
cool?
no belts. Listen, that's nasty work.
All right.
All right, guys, it's time for 5 stats you need to know. We got 2 sponsor reads first. We're going to fly through these. Our first read comes from Rujit. What do you do when you have a bald eagle standing on a gorilla riding a T-Rex? Confidence, pure confidence. If you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rujit Go Long. That's where Rujit Go Long comes in. It's not just another ED pill. It's a total game changer in confidence. If you're ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom, head to Rujit.com and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for 15% off your first order. That's Rujit, RUGIET.com. Promo code LOCKEDONNFL. This day's show is also sponsored by Mazda, for those who believe it's not just about playing the game, it's about redefining it, because these moments do more than win. They push what's possible, reminding us to go that extra yard, shift into that extra gear, and keep the game moving forward. When you follow what moves you, the unexpected is only the beginning, and just like there's more to every highlight, there's more to every Mazda. Mazda, move and be moved. All right, guys, we're going to fly through these because we only have about 15 minutes before we head over to WKYC. So unless you have a pressing question that you need answered, here are the stats that you need to know, and we're going to get through them quickly. This one's important. ESPN picked this one up, Jay. Be proud of this one. I found out McNuggets, it's the first ever lefty-on-lefty Hawaiian matchup in the history of the NFL. There have never been two Hawaiian
Can't imagine
quarterbacks
there
that
would've
both
been.
throw lefty that have started a game against each other. It's actually just the second time in the history of the league that two Hawaiian-born quarterbacks have started opposite of each other. The first came in 2020 when Mariota and Tua squared off on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to the next stat because that one's
That
not
is an interesting
super
stat,
important. It's cool, but it doesn't
Not
really
surprising.
Do you
at
know?
all.
Do you know in college we used to call any exotic girl Hawaiian
Why?
because we just felt like that. We was like, look at this Hawaiian.
Kind of
girl.
neutral in a
so,
way.
Yeah.
You never know.
Nobody's getting offended, maybe.
Polynesian, Asian.
They could be.
Not
It's
sure.
a mix. It's a mix.
Yeah,
What's Hawaiian?
I hear you.
All right, next one. This is a chart, Steve. So if you want to drop the super and take the
I
chart
was
here. This
Hawaiian.
is EPA plays that are
Hawaiian
scripted
Bowl.
versus plays that are not scripted. If you see Kevin Stefanski
Oh my
on
God.
non-scripted plays is in a league of his own. And the issue is that's the opposite side of the spectrum where you want to be. On scripted plays, which is the first 15 plays of the game,
Middle of the road.
middle of the road, middle of the pack,
Yeah.
perfectly fine. On non-scripted plays, he's solo on an island, and it's not an island you want to be on. That's the Alcatraz of the EPA.
Whoa.
That is an
So
absolute.
Zach Taylor's pretty
indictment.
terrible, Mike.
Yeah, he nasty
Yeah.
too.
Now, what are they counting? Oh, there it is. 15, first 15.
First 15
And,
plays.
and also, how do we know this? Because that's assuming that every team scripts its first 15 plays, and they don't.
It's a good question.
Well, they do. They don't always run them as the first 15, though. It depends on down and distance.
Well,
and
But how
every
does
coach
people
has
evaluating
its
this know?
that's yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't
if
really
you're-
put a lot of credence in that stat.
If you get a holding and you're first and 20,
You're
you're not
changing.
necessarily sticking
Number
to the
two is
script.
now different.
right, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it may take, because I've talked to coaches about this, it could take you the middle of second quarter
Right,
to get through
your script.
Yeah, and the bigger assumption is that every team scripts its
So
first 15
basically,
plays,
what
and
that's
not-
telling you is the first 15 plays and then everything else.
That's exactly
Is
what it's
that
telling you,
chart
but
is
it's
telling
not.
you.
It's not fair to
It's
say
not
that that's scripted
necessarily-
versus non-scripted.
I mean, it doesn't look good. It's
No, it's still either way.
Awful.
It's a bad stat for Kevin.
The Browns have always been, under Kevin Stefanski, very good in their first 15 plays and very terrible after that.
They
I
score on
think it's
their
kind of like
first drive.
the first drive,
Yeah.
first two drives.
Yeah.
Next one is also related to Kevin Stefanski. Since 2023, the Browns have had 5 games, just 5, with a positive passing EPA. That means 87.5% of their games since 2023, which is 2 full
Is that
seasons
counting
plus this
23
season.
or is that
Yes,
24 in this
23,
year?
24, and the games so far in 25.
Okay.
87.5% of their games have had a quarterback with a negative passing EPA. So I want to compare, how did that compare to the Baker era? Jay, this is for you. In the Baker era, 19 of 32 games, they had a positive passing EPA per dropback.
Wow.
In all the
With
games
Baker
that don't
and Stefanski
include...
together.
Yeah, that's what it's telling us.
Yes, Baker and Stefanski
Wait, but
together.
Baker played more than 32 games with Kevin Stefanski.
No, it's just
No, I don't think he did.
20, 21, and 22.
21,
Yeah, but he missed games too.
He missed games, yeah.
He missed games with
He
injury.
didn't miss a whole
He didn't
season.
miss a lot.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know.
I'm
We
with
don't-
Bull. I think he's been played more than
I thought it was
32.
44 games, to be honest. I thought that was the number.
I'll double check on that
Okay,
one.
Yeah.
okay.
But
In games
yeah.
without Baker, you can see the difference. It's
Well,
60%
yeah.
versus 16 to 61, regardless.
Yeah.
Not good enough.
Either way, it was
Right,
far
20
better when he was
Baker was
teamed
here
up.
in 22. That was his last year,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
I got that stat from Next Gen, so I'll double check on that.
Yeah, I just double checked
I
the
assume
number
Next
of
Gen
games
is
that
good
Baker
on that one,
played
but-
between 2021 and 22 was
Well-
definitely more than 32.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because Kevin and Baker were together 3 years.
3 years.
That one came straight from Next Gen. I'll
Okay,
double
next
check on
gen
Next
screwed
Gen.
up, but all right.
All right, we talked about how many passes they threw against Pittsburgh. 52. That was the 4th most passes a rookie quarterback's thrown in the last 15 years. Burrow, if you remember his rookie year, threw 61 against the Browns. Derek Carr in 2014 had 2 games of 50-plus. All 4 of those were losses, so run the ball more. Next one, Steve. We're flying through these because we have literally the most super chats we've ever had in the history of the world. If you get to Tua, you got to get to him with 4 guys. Against the blitz, Tua's been historically good in his career. When you get pressure on 4, he has not been good. The difference in Tua, where he ranks, this is PFF grades, by the way, and their overall quarterback ranking. Where he ranks against the blitz versus where he ranks against pressure, which is 4, drastically different. The Browns have been one of the better teams in the NFL this season.
Isn't
at
every
getting pressure
quarterback
with
going to be
just 4.
better under pressure against the blitz?
Yeah, but it's not necessarily as drastic of a difference.
Okay, yeah.
Tua was, in that 2023 season, Tua was the number 1 quarterback against the blitz, the 27th against pressure with just 4. So we're talking big difference.
Yeah, that
they
is
like to
big
get the ball out quick. When you blitz, Tua obviously is able to hit his hot read. They get Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle in space, Devon Achane. When you get there with 4, and they have to figure out how to get space against 7 defenders. Night and day difference. Next one,
He
Steve.
doesn't have Tyreek Hill anymore, though.
He doesn't. Denzel Ward got his 100th career pass breakup last week. One of 3 active players with over 100 pass breakups in his career, 100 or more. Darius Slay, Jalen Ramsey.
Who got
the
retired
other 2,
last night.
Ramsey not good last night. Denzel has only allowed 9 receptions in man-to-man coverage this season. Jalen Waddle, their best receiver without Tyreek Hill, ranks 3rd in the NFL with a 138.5 quarterback rating against man this year. So watch for that matchup. Last stat, Mike McDaniel, bad against good teams, good against bad teams. 3-15 in his career against teams above 500. 26-13 against teams below 500. We obviously know the Browns much below 500, but that's something to keep an eye on for this weekend.
Interesting.
Those are your fastest 5 stats in the history of humanity.
Yeah.
3 wins out of 18 games, teams above 500. That's pathetic.
Not very good.
This is going to be a pivotal game. I never thought 2 bad teams would have a pivotal game, but
I think Mike McDaniel.
Pivotal for the
organization.
I think Mike McDaniel is fired if they lose this game. I think it's his last.
Yeah,
Zach and I did a joint piece today that went up. It is just a back and forth between he and I. This feels, I don't know if we have this in the rundown for the KYC. Real quick, this feels to me like the Washington game did last year. The Washington game last year was the telltale point to me of this is way worse than we thought.
That's the B block of the TV show, Jason.
I remember
It is?
that.
All right.
Yeah, if they lose to the Dolphins, they're not getting 5-6
And
wins.
didn't JOK get hurt that game?
That was.
Yeah, okay.
All right, guys,
Mike,
we got
super chats.
some. We have like 130, so we're going to read about 5 of them. But Super Chat today brought to us by Mally's. The holidays are right around the corner. Nothing says celebration like your perfect sweet treat. And let's be real, finding that go-to gift or special indulgence for yourself can be overwhelming. Between generic options and mass-produced candy that just doesn't hit the same, it's easy to settle for less when all you want is something truly special. That's where Mally's comes in, Cleveland's favorite chocolatier since 1935. This year, they're celebrating 90 years of making Northeast Ohio's sweetest moments even sweeter. Their selection's incredible, from chocolate-covered pretzels to Buckeyes to Billy Bob's and Malio's. You can even shop online and have it delivered right to your front door. Celebrate 90 years of Cleveland's sweetest tradition with Mally's chocolates. Visit one of their 18 Northeast Ohio locations or shop online at Malleys.com. That's Malleys.com. Mally's, taste the tradition, taste the Mally's.
Quickly, you were right. That number was right. He started under Kevin Stefanski 35 games.
There you go.
So it was 16 in 2020, 17 in 21, and 5 in 2022. Said Mayfield was
5 and 22.
benched after week 5, which I don't remember.
That's not true.
That's what this is showing.
That's not true.
No.
Yeah,
That's when he had
I don't
the shoulder.
think it's true
22
either.
is
In
when he had the
22,
shoulder.
he had the shoulder, and he played
through
hurt.
it.
That's
Yeah.
what.
Yeah. All right, we'll get through a couple we appreciate everyone who sent in super chats. We have literally 4 minutes, so we're going to get through as many as we can in 4 minutes. Brad Schrack says it's amazing how competent Flacco looked with an offensive line that gave him time and receivers who can catch and get open. Oh, and the running team ran all over that defense. Kevin has to go.
I screwed us up, by the way. Baker was gone in 2022.
Yeah, he was in Carolina and
bad job
Los
out of me.
Angeles
I started
in
us down a bad
2022.
road.
That's
Go ahead,
why we
Mike.
got down the wrong. That's why we got down
screwed
the wrong
up.
hole.
Our years. It's been so much misery. We screwed up.
So the numbers were right.
Go ahead.
They were right.
Numbers
Yeah,
were
that number
yes.
of 35 or
Yes.
32,
Next
whatever
Gen
you had.
Stats was right. Yeah.
That was the correct number.
Dragon the Abandoner says, is there anything that can happen that can get you guys off the Fire Stefanski train? Or are you so dug in at this point to continue to be the campaign slogan on the show no matter what?
I can change my mind if Dillon Gabriel does a complete about face and they win more games than they lose from here on out.
If the offense,
highly unlikely.
If the offense comes out, it looks more creative, and they ball and they putting points on the board, I'm always willing to take what's in front of me and pivot.
I mean, I would say I'm not going to give a specific thing because, I don't know. But, yeah, it's possible.
We did fire him once, and then he won Coach of the Year in 23.
I mean, I have never said fire him.
No, you haven't.
I've just said I'm not going to argue with you. Certainly you can make a case.
Yeah.
I'm still of the belief he's a good coach if you give him talent. There is no talent on this offense.
Does everybody all agree we would not fire him during the middle of the year?
There's
Yes.
no point.
Yeah, no, why?
There's no point.
What are we going to learn from it?
Yeah. So, look, we ain't that bad.
Shinobi Black Ops says, kudos to y'all. The show is maybe a Browns fan more than the actual team. Came for the Shador shenanigans. Stayed for you guys. Keep it up.
Thank
Wow,
you.
that's a big
There you
compliment.
go. Appreciate
That's a
you.
huge compliment.
Rogers 12 Eyes says, tell Tomlin to keep Andrew Berry's name out his mouth.
No, he will not do such.
Sly
You tell
says,
him.
Sly says Guardians went to the ALCS last year, then got rid of their best pitcher, defensive player, and second best hitter, and you guys are balling out in ALCS this year, and guards do nothing, and people are mad at the Browns for getting rid of a 40-year-old quarterback.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad about the Browns getting rid of a 40-year-old quarterback. And B, the Guardians go to the playoffs almost every year. The Browns do not. That's a huge difference.
You're not mad about it because they sent him to your team, and now you're better.
But I'm not going to kill Andrew Berry for the trade. I'm going to kill Andrew Berry for the lack of talent.
If Joe Flacco had 2 great receivers here, I'd be furious that they got rid of him.
Right.
But why keep him? Our receivers are trash. He can't do it by himself, so I'm not mad at all.
We don't know Tomlin and the Steelers any?
Yeah, I'm not mad that they traded him.
Neil Gray says the Browns' present problem has always been Stefanski, or the Browns' present problem has always been Stefanski. Thank Berry to expose his coach and ability to call plays, catering to his quarterback strengths, as Baker, Flacco, Watson, etc. HNT63 says Viagra couldn't help the Browns' dysfunction.
Whoa, you crazy, bro.
Sly on the David Bell retirement. Stefanski admitted that was his guy. He told AB to draft him, yet to believe all the picks are AB and coaches / staff no say must be luck. Terrell says that was 100% on Kevin. I think AB traded Flacco because he too is giving up on Kevin and his offense and would rather see what we have in the rookies instead of trying to play with Joe. DK says, I actually think you're the problem. Stop gaslighting and telling us we aren't seeing with our own eyes. Say it with me. It's the head coach. The jig is up. Shador's the answer.
Gig.
Doggy Bone says,
No, the jig.
It is, right?
Jay, you have some
Both
cred
are
for the
right.
Podesta claim.
Both are
Podesta is the author of the book Moneyball. Ideology is data over instincts.
First thing
Utilize
I think about with
statistics to
Odessa is
compensate the
Gen
lack
V. If you know, you know. Let's go.
What was that?
Eddie
Show.
says, G looks like he works at Mondo Burger.
What was I missed the D Podesta.
Doggy Bone said, Jay, you had some cred for the Podesta claim. Podesta wrote Moneyball. Ideology is using data over instincts. Value picks. Utilize statistics to compensate the lack of, which doesn't translate to football. You should
Podesta
check it
did
out.
not write Moneyball.
It's D Podesta.
It's D
Yeah.
Podesta.
And he didn't write Moneyball.
And Moneyball he was the focus of Moneyball. It was his philosophy, which I say that's the worst movie in the history of Hollywood.
It's a great movie. It's just not.
It's not historically accurate. They never mentioned that they had an MVP shortstop and an all-world starting pitching staff.
Right. Still a good movie.
Scott Hatterberg was the central part of that team. If you watch the movie.
I enjoyed
It was a great movie.
Just not accurate.
It was horrible.
Booch Wyatt says, how much more proof do you guys need from Kevin? Berry isn't calling those garbage plays. Jason will be here in 2027 defending
I love
Kevin.
that all the responses are as if we're like, I mean, certainly Jason has defended him, which he has every right to do. The rest of us have been
15
killing
seconds.
Stefanski. And
Yeah, we're
all
pretty
the
much in lockstep
responses
here. They all have to go.
Are if we've been, the whole show's been defending Stefanski.
By the end of the year, I might say, okay,
You might,
enough.
yeah.
But I'm not
But listen,
there
you
yet.
have every right to have your opinion.
Talk
It's
your
stupid
stuff.
what people. Yes,
Yo,
anyway, go ahead.
WKYC
See you
Plus
there.
in 3 minutes.
30 minutes, never
Peace.
before seen.